Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you're watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. So today we'll be taking a look at the tin deck called the Barbara Walker Tarot. This is a US Games deck, and Barbara Walker Tarot reflects a unique feminist perspective of tarot with religious and pagan symbols from around the world. The court cards depict mythological gods and goddesses, and it includes 78 cards with keywords in English and a 48-page booklet. So if you've watched a few of my videos this year, I'm all about feminine power and feminine energy. So this is why I also purchased this deck. So this is the little white book that comes with the deck. It was first published in 2017. You have an introduction and you already go into the meanings of the cards. Then the suits. And then you just have some information on the use of tarot cards and information on the back design of the deck. So here are the backs and some title card and information about Barbara Walker. So she did illustrate all of the cards in this deck. Okay, so let me zoom. Oh, before I zoom in, okay, so let's take a look at the cards. So it is not completely matte, but I wouldn't say it's glossy. The backs are reversible, and the cardstock is nice and flexible, but with a good snap. So I don't think that I would have any issues with this deck shuffling it, and it does feel like it is sturdy enough and would last. So let's zoom in and take a closer look at all of the cards. Okay, so let's go do the flip through so you have an idea of what the cards look like if you're curious about this particular deck. So some of the majors have been renamed. That's the High Priestess. There's a very witchy kind of vibe. The Hierophant is also renamed to the Pope. You do have a number at the top. Font is easy to read. It is bordered. I would have preferred if the art was bigger, because it's a tin deck. Oh, so that you can see how it compares to a standard tarot size. It's a lot small. It's a lot shorter and a little bit narrower. But yeah, since it's smaller than a standard tarot, I would have preferred if the images were slightly bigger. There's still a lot of space, and because the art looks like something I could really sink into. It does feel I wouldn't say dark, but it leans towards that that energy for me. Not to say that I feel like it's anything evil, or what am I trying to say? But essentially, it's just that the art style isn't as light as what I usually show or feature on this channel. The Tower, renamed to the House of God. The Star. Then when you go to the minors, you also have a keyword at the top. It's a nice Two of Cups. So I haven't read with this deck yet, but I have heard that it is like a very straight to the point, like a salty aunt. The Six of Cups feels more it feels like it would, instead of the usual Six of Cups energy where it's like being nostalgic about your youth or the past, this kind of feels like it's like it's forcing you, or it's asking you to face whatever trauma that you might have encountered in the past. That's how I feel about it. Loss, happiness. So the keywords so far, they do resonate with me. And then we go to Ten of Cups and Salvation. Not sure how I feel about that. And the court cards, according to the manual, or according to the text, introduces mythological characters, gods and goddesses, to represent the energy. Then you go to the One suit. So it bears a little bit differently from how I see tarot, and I don't know how I feel about it yet, to be honest. Of course, it's always a good thing, I think, to really expand and learn more about how different artists, different creators interpret tarot. But since I'm still very much a student and a beginner, I'm starting to question whether I am actually ready for this deck. Because it does feel a little bit more advanced. Not sure if that is the right term, but it deviates from how I usually read the cards and how I see or how I use tarot. But we'll see, you know. I haven't read with this yet, so have to get to know it. Four of Pentacles. The keywords, so now the keywords are kind of, I don't know. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so Seven of Pentacles, failure. I'm not sure about these keywords. I have to read what's in the little white book. Maybe it would enlighten me on why. It's also a good thing, you know, that it's very different from how I traditionally see tarot, because it's kind of exciting in a way, because you get to learn a different side and different meanings associated with it. So yeah, and I hope that, you know, it talks a lot more about the gods and goddesses that are featured in the courts. Solution. Alright, so I zoomed out so we can see how this shuffles. I think it will shuffle really well, and it does. The cardstock is just thin enough for me to riffle it, even though it's a smaller size. And I appreciate that, because I do like riffle shuffling my decks. I can also bridge it. Oops. Side shuffling is also not a problem. I don't feel like the cards are sticking to each other. The size is perfect for my slightly smaller hands. And yeah, and then let's just see if we can get a card to read. Doesn't seem like a card wants to be read. This deck and I are not don't have a good start. We're not. Okay, and then we have the Two of Cups. Oh, okay, but it's kind of telling me now that no, we would probably have a good relationship together if you just take the time to learn about me. At least that's how I see it. Okay, Two of Cups. So for the Two of Cups, the keyword is romance, which is the same as the traditional meaning, or at least how I traditionally see tarot, so no issues with that. And the text says, on the shore of a deserted lake under the moon, two lovers pledge their devotion in cups. Many singers wrote of secret places dedicated to their love goddess, where lovers could safely practice the ancient way of communing with the divine through the physical. By way of their romance or love poems, the term romance came to be applied to any affair of the heart, especially those blessed by the lover's own deity, the Moon Mother. Two cups indicate intimacy, sympathy, trust, engagement, or marriage, fulfillment of desires. So that is how the guidebook reads. For some of the cards, it's very much like how I see tarot, but there are some cards here that really give me pause, and there's a little bit of anxiety in working with this deck. I don't know why, but I'm very much drawn to the art. It is not it's unlike anything that I currently have in my collection, and maybe I just really need to bond with it and get to know it. But like some keywords are just, why? Just tend to lean a little bit more negative, and maybe since I just read for myself, and it's usually to learn more about myself and for self-empowerment, self-improvement, and all that. Maybe that's why some of the keywords are throwing me off. But if I look at it in a different perspective, then it might be very, very enlightening. And yeah, so I have to set time to learn more about this deck. I don't know if it would be anytime in the near future, to be perfectly honest, because I know myself. I know that I have a backlog, if you can call it that, backlog of decks that I need to work with, and at this time I think I might prioritize those decks over this one. But I do think it is really special and worth getting to know. And yeah, maybe I just got it before I was ready for it. But yeah, I hope you like this flip through, and if you like this video, don't forget to click on the like button and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to hear more about my random thoughts about tarot and see more deck flip throughs like this. I post videos at least once a month, and I will see you again next time. Bye!